It is a stormy night in Toronto, but inside the Rogers Center, it'll be covered tonight with the roof closed as the Blue Jays will finish up a 3-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Hello, everybody. I'm Buck Martinez along with Pat Tabler. Pat, everybody around baseball knows how good the Tampa Bay Rays pitching staff has been all year long. But you might be surprised that the Blue Jays have pitched almost as well as the Rays.
They are right there. And when you talk about in terms of development between these two staffs, the Toronto Blue Jays, I think, are about a year and a half away from where the Rays are coming from. When the young Tampa Bay Rays starters started their careers, they took their lumps. Blue Jays did that last year, and you can see the fruits of the troubles that they had last year. They are right there. The bottom line is both of these staffs are very young and very talented.
And one guy that's really added a lot to the Jays' number this year is Sean Markham, and the way he's bounced back from Tommy John surgery, he's getting better as the season rolls along.
Did not pitch poorly in the month of April. A very good ERA. He just didn't have any runs to work with. In May, though, look at the ERA. It drops. The run support goes up, and Markham is undefeated in the month of May.
Well, tonight they're going to be looking at a Sean Markham that has been able to snap losing streaks. 6 times he's gone to the mound with his club riding a losing streak, and he's 5-0 during those starts, so they're looking for him to snap this losing streak as well.
Yeah, he wasn't as sharp as the Sean Markham that we saw in the month of May. He worked 6 innings. He left 6 batters on base, and he did not have a 1-2-3 inning until the last inning, when he came out and struck out the side in the 6th inning. So we're looking for some more here tonight from Markham.
He'll be in against David Price, the former #1 pick overall, and Price is getting better as well. Last year just 3-4, but a dramatic turnaround for Price in the rotation.
Well, he's becoming a better pitcher. He's adding pitches to his repertoire. He's got a great arm. He's got a great slider. He throws very hard, and I think the development of Price, you see him from last year to this year, and the Blue Jays saw it firsthand the last time they saw him down in Tampa.
Pitches his first career complete game against the Blue Jays, just 4 hits. He walked 1 batter and struck out 9. He had everything working that day.
He certainly did. Watch where all these pitches are and the depth and the break that he has on his sliders. And he's always got that one pitch that he can go to in case he gets in trouble. He can just rear back and throw that ball by a hitter.
Well, the old baseball adage is that good pitching can shut down good hitting any day of the week, but I don't know if that's going to be the case with Price. He'll make his 5th start against the Blue Jays here today. But the Blue Jays have a red-hot lineup, and a couple of guys in those lineup right now, Fred Lewis and Jose Bautista, are really doing a number on any pitcher they see. For more on that, let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
And Buck, those 2 guys are the reason why the Blue Jays are amongst the top of several Major League Baseball offensive categories, leading everyone with 91 home runs and second in all of baseball with 280 runs scored. When you look at what this dynamic duo that you speak of has done since May 1st, combined for 40 extra base hits. That's the best dynamic duo there is in all of baseball right now when it comes to extra base hits. I think, to me, it all starts with Fred Lewis. In 4 of the last 6 games he started off with an extra base hit, including the home run against Neiman last night. These 2 guys will look to continue to set the table and drive in runs here against David Price, a tough lefty.
David Price, 6'6". He has a big curveball now. He's got all 4 pitches. He makes his 5th start against the Blue Jays. The Rays have won all 4 of the previous starts. Should be a good pitching matchup tonight.
Music Stand, brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Game 3 of this 3-game series. Each club has won a game in the series. Jays won the opener 3-2, lost the second game last night 7-6. Took a lead into the ninth inning. Tampa Bay came back with 4 in the top of the ninth. Lineup for Joe Maddon's ball club. In the 2 spot, Carl Crawford. Over the last 11 games, he's hit .341. Home run and 5 RBIs to go along with the 2 doubles. Longoria, Ibar is in the DH spot. He can clean up tonight. No Carlos Pena tonight. He's out of the lineup. Sean Rodriguez-Benzobras plays at first base. Kapler, Navarro, and Reed Brignac, the shortstop, round out the lineup. They're set to take on Sean Markham.
Blue Jays send their hottest pitcher to the mound in Sean Markham. Has won 4 straight starts. He's 5-0 in his last 7 outings. He beat the Orioles last time out, throwing 6 shutout innings. He struck out 7 as the Jays won that ball game 5-0. Here's a sign of an ace. All of Markham's wins have come after a Blue Jay loss. Good numbers all the way around for Sean Markham this year. Very stingy with just 17 base on balls. Scouting report for Markham. He is a fierce competitor. He really likes to compete when he is out on that mound, and he is a true pitcher. He mixes and matches well with all of his pitches. Doesn't blow it by you, but he'll be out there challenging you, and he's really tough on Tampa. In his career, 1-0 with an ERA under 1 in 3 starts. The Rays hitting just .154 in their career against Sean Markham.
Sean Markham will deal with B.J. Upton to start the game. Upton in the leadoff spot for the second consecutive night, hitting just .219. Upton had a double in 5 trips last night, but he also struck out 3 times.
Joe Maddon saying about B.J. Upton, saying that he's had some good at-bats and he wants to kickstart him, try to get him going. Says we're looking for a little of that spark, possibly. Maybe he can provide it.
First pitch swinging, a little soft liner in the left. Lewis will have to play it on the big hop, and B.J. Upton starts things off with a single.
Well, that's one way to get it started right there. Be aggressive on the first pitch. Defensively for the Blue Jays tonight, they come in 3rd in the American League in fielding percentage with 28 errors. Gonzalez and Hill have been very good up the middle in tonight's battery. Sean Markham and the catcher John Buck did a good job yesterday working with Brian Tallett for the first time in about 40 games.
So Carl Crawford will bat with nobody out here, top of the first. Upton, a base stealing threat at first. Carl Crawford, one of the premier number 2 hitters in all of baseball. He had 1 hit in 4 official at-bats. He also walked and scored in that 4-run 9th inning.
Before he got here to Toronto, he was battling a little bit of a slump. Sunday, he got his 25th 4-hit game of his career.
Fly ball, deep center field. Vernon Wells running back in front of the warning track. Now he turns around to face the infield and makes the catch. Upton retreats to first. Ball jumped off the bat, but seemed to die when it got out to center field.
It certainly did, and maybe that fooled B.J. Upton a little bit, the runner at first base. If you could read that ball quickly with his great speed, maybe you tag up and get yourself into scoring position, but the ball died in center field. Here's Upton reading that ball, thinking that it's hit a little bit harder than what it did. Settles in the glove of Vernon Wells, and he has to trot back to first.
Wells gets criticized for the way he goes after balls, but I think that right there is the reason Upton went so far to second. 1 out now for Evan Longoria, the 3rd baseman. First pitch strike.
When you talk about how he went after the ball, he went after the ball like it was over his head, and then turned around right before it came down into his glove, and I think that fooled Upton.
No balls in a strike. 1 out here, top of the first. Markham's very quick to first base. He is very athletic, a great fielder. Having been a position player in college, he understands timing of when base runners are going to steal. Really has a good sense for when a runner might take off.
He's got a very good feel for that, and he's quick to home. He'll use that slide step.
Even base stealing is a little bit about timing, and Markham held the ball for a long time and took that edge away from B.J. Upton at first.
Stealing bases has to do with picking something up from a pitcher. Does he drop his hands when he is coming over to first base? Does he separate quickly? What does his legs do? There are so many different things that you can look for as a base runner over at first base. Trying to steal against Sean Markham is tough because he's so quick to home.
Now the base stealer becomes kind of a moot point when you've got the count in your favor, a ball and 2 strikes. One out here in the first. Pretty good pitch. It's really essential for Markham, because he's not an overpowering guy, to get those calls when he makes a pitch. He sets up pitches 3 and 4 pitches in advance, and then he makes a good pitch on the corner, doesn't get a call, so he's got to back up a couple of steps and regroup.
And he's got to figure out, and he only has a couple of pitches to do it now, with the count 2-2 against a very dangerous Evan Longoria.
Ground ball up the middle, past the diving Gonzalez into center. B.J. Upton quickly around second. He's headed to third. Gonzalez dove but couldn't put a glove on it, and Upton quickly went first to third on Longoria's base hit.
Longoria has had some great at-bats against the Blue Jays in his young career. Markham thinks he has him as he gets the ball on the ground, but Gonzalez gets over there quickly, and it goes right under his glove. Just out of his reach, and with the great speed of Upton, he is going to go first to third every time.
Gonzalez got a pretty good jump. That ball was just hit too sharply for him to get leather on it. Now Willie Ibar. Tonight the DH as well. Last night he was in the 5th spot in the lineup as the DH. 1 out, runners at the corners. Ibar took a defensive position when Joe Madden used some pinch hitters in the latter stages of the game. He brought in Hank Blaylock to pinch hit in the 6th, and that basically took him out of a DH role. The pitcher was inserted into the lineup, and Ibar went in the game defensively. Popped up, shallow right field. Upton reluctantly tagging now, but he's not got a chance to score. Upton knew that ball was just a lazy pop-up into shallow right.
Markham found himself into a lot of trouble his last time out against the Baltimore Orioles. Worked in and out of trouble for the 6 innings that he was in there. Left 6 runners on base, and he has that ability because he has so many different pitches that if he finds himself in trouble like that, he can find a way out also.
Sean Rodriguez got the big hit last night in the 9th inning. Actually, his hit was in the 9th inning, the only hit of the 9th inning.
Yeah, there were more ejections than base hits in the 9th inning.
Never thought of it that way. Joe Madden got tossed, and eventually Kevin Gregg got tossed, and the Rays had only 1 hit in their half of the inning. 2 outs now. Rodriguez, a ball and no strikes. Lays off that inside pitch, 2-0. Joe Madden fighting for his team. Got a couple of calls he thought went against him last night. A play at second base. The shortstop left too early. Kevin Gregg was ejected after he was taken out of the game. Got into an argument with home plate umpire Angel Hernandez. Off the plate inside, 3-0. Angel tonight down at third base. 3 balls, no strikes to Sean Rodriguez. Sean Markham stranded 6 last time out in his 6 innings of work against Baltimore. Taking all the way.
One of the things that surprised me in that last start, Buck, was just one 1-2-3 inning. Markham has been so efficient this year, and he's thrown a lot of strikes. And against a Baltimore team who isn't nearly as good as the Tampa Bay Rays offensively, he could only get 1-2-3 inning, and that was the last one he was in there.
3-1. Another pop up in the right field. Bautista broke back. Hill's out. Hill to make the catch in shallow right field. Bautista took a step back when he saw the big swing, but here was there to make the play. No score after a half inning. Third in the American League East at the start of this game tonight. Aaron Hill starting to come on a little bit. 400 during this homestand with a couple of home runs. He scored 5 and driven in 4. That's a great sign. His average creeping up to that 200 plateau. Adam Lynn, Vernon Wells, middle of the order. Bautista has moved up to the 5th spot. Overbay has dropped down to the 7th spot. That has been a pretty good combination of late. John Buck and Edwin Encarnacion will round things out, and they will face David Price, the big left-hander.
Tied with Andy Pettit and Boston's Clay Buchholz for the AL lead in wins with 7. David Price had a personal 4-game win streak snapped his last time out, giving up just 3 runs in 7 innings, but still lost that game 4-2 to the Chicago White Sox. Good numbers all the way around for this young left-hander.
Fred Lewis, big night last night. Lewis with 3 hits in his first 3 at-bats. He had a leadoff home run in the first, hit a double in the third, and a single in the 5th. He scored 3 runs during the game. Plays off that high fastball. I'm talking with Jim Hickey, the pitching coach of Tampa Bay. He suggested that Fred Lewis change the personality of his lineup. He said he gives you a totally different look with his speed and his bat top of the order.
Well, it's a guy that Cito Gaston can say, you are my legitimate leadoff hitter. Marco Scudero did a great job for the Blue Jays last year as a leadoff hitter, but he didn't bring speed like Lewis can.
Bouncing ball, base hit up the middle. Again, Lewis starts the game with a leadoff hit.
Whole homestand, Fred Lewis has done just that, leading off with base hits. Scouting report for young Price, David Price. He's got excellent arm speed. He can throw that fastball anywhere between 90 and 98 miles an hour, and he's got that wipeout slider with a sharp bite to it. Solid control for David Price. A lot of times when you see young pitchers come up and they're left-handed, it takes them a while to throw strikes. No problem this year for Price.
There's the old courtesy throw to first base, just kind of letting Fred Lewis know, hey, I know you're over there. Aaron Hill, we mentioned, he's starting to heat up a bit on this homestand. 8 home runs, 7 of those home runs came in May. He'd love to be able to carry that momentum in here to June. Fastball outside for a ball. Mentioned this is the 5th start for David Price against the Blue Jays. He is 3-0. The club has won all 4 of his previous starts against Toronto.
In his ERA in his career is just under 3. He has had great success in his early career versus Toronto.
Hill got jammed on that 95-mile-an-hour fastball inside. Blue Jays last saw Price. It was his 4th start of the season at St. Petersburg in Tropicana Field. He pitched his first career complete game through a 4-hit shutout. Popped up behind second. Sean Rodriguez in shallow right makes the catch.
Defensively for the Tampa Bay Rays tonight, here's how they will line up. Gabe Kapler will man in right field. He'll be joined by Upton and Crawford in the outfield. A couple of changes on the inner defense for Joe Maddon's team. On the right side, Sean Rodriguez has started games at 3 different positions. Ben Zobrist has started positions 4 different times, and between them they've done a good job. Just 1 error between the 2 of them on the right side of the infield tonight.
Takes a lot of extra work to make sure you're ready when you bounce around the field. So many different positions. Adamlin takes a first pitch strike from Price. And had a triple in last night's game, his first triple of the season. That came in the 5th inning. That expanded the lead to 4-0 at that point. Price does a decent job of holding the running game in check. Only 5 steals in 7 attempts.
Wouldn't say that he has a great move over to first base. Left-handers have such an advantage when it comes to pickoff moves.
Sharply hit on the ground, right through the legs of Brignac. Fred Lewis will go first to third. That was a tailor-made double play. He got ahead of himself and was ready to toss it to Rodriguez before he caught it.
Yeah, first thing you are taught as an infielder on a double play ball, catch the ball first. You can't do anything unless you catch it first. And you're right, Brignac got caught looking up. On that replay, you can watch his head just leave the mitt just a little bit. He looks up, and the ball squirts underneath his glove. His 6th error of the season. He's a young player, and that's where Jason Bartlett meant so much to this team, but he's been hurt for this series.
Bartlett's got a hamstring problem. They're hopeful he'll get back in the lineup very soon. He is still active. Vernon Wells takes the first pitch outside. Wells just missed tying up the game in last night's game with a ball off the top of the fence in left field. He would drive in a run with the double. That would make it 7-6. But he literally was inches away from tying it up. Right on the corner.
I asked him about that. I said, did you have enough of that ball? He said, I knew I had enough to get it over his head. And he watched Carl Crawford go back and back. He goes, hey, this has a chance. But he knew that high pitches like that, when he gets on top of it, he creates a little bit of topspin. And the ball just hit off the top of the wall.
Fouled back over the screen.
You know as a hitter when you get it.
I can't say I did. No. I never no.
Oh.
I was never in that position, Todd.
Not even in BP?
I cannot claim that. A ball and 2 strikes. 1 out here, bottom of the 1st. Runners at the corners for Wells. Breaking ball down and in. He gets him. Price with a strikeout. First strikeout of the night.
There's that wipeout slider, wiping out right across the plate for a big strikeout with a runner at third in less than 2 outs. Price has that ability to come up with big strikeouts. It's quick and it's hard. Here it is, and there it goes.
2 outs now. Jose Bautista. And the breaking ball misses low. Another thing Jim Hickey mentioned in our conversation was how the Jays now are really aggressive early in the count, and because of that, the Rays have changed their pitching attack. Not anxious to throw first pitch fastballs.
So none of those, here's a first pitch fastball. I know you're going to take it because you're so worried about your on-base percentage.
Yeah, no, that's not the case anymore with this Blue Jays team. They are hard charging. Three balls and no strikes. Fred Lewis singled. He went to third base on the year by Reed Brignac, the shortstop. 3-1. Three balls and a strike, 2 outs here. Blue Jays threatening against Price in the first. .96. Dialed it up a notch.
Yeah, he's just getting loose too. 2 outs, 3-2. He has that ability to reach back for just a little bit more.
Brignac, the shortstop, is really in the hole against Bautista. There's a lot of room up the middle. Popped him up behind home plate. Navarro back to the screen, but it'll be out of play. Joe Madden is always one guy that really exaggerates the defensive alignment. We have seen him in the past use 5 infielders and 2 outfielders against David Ortiz at Fenway Park. Brignac really to the pull side of the diamond, deep in the hole at short.
Well, he really thinks outside the box. Takes that baseball book, that baseball handbook that we all know, and just throws it right in the fire and does it his own way.
Well, a lot of managing is gut feeling. You know your players, you know what they can do, you know what they can handle, and sometimes you just got to go by your gut. 3-2, Lind on the move. Popped up again by Bautista, out of play. We're scoreless here in the first. The Rays threatened against Sean Markham, but he was able to strand a couple of base runners. Fred Lewis again starting the game off with a base hit. Lind reached on the air by the shortstop. Another foul back. Bautista having some pretty good swings at David Price, but just can't square it up.
He's challenging him with fastballs. Shows me something for Price. There are the pitches and at-bats in this at-bat. Nothing wrong with a good, hard fastball.
Breaking ball, hammered to left field, base hit. Fred Lewis will come in to score. Lind goes first to third. He was on the move on the full count pitch. Price went to a breaking ball, and Bautista got to it.
And he tried to trick him. His best pitch is the fastball. And Bautista was late 3 straight times fouling the ball back, so he tried to trick him with his second best pitch, and Bautista was waiting for it. Breaking ball, and it's ripped. See him grit his teeth and rip that bat in the left field. Lind running on the pitch makes it all the way to third base.
Alex Gonzalez now Still runners at the corners. Jays up 1-0. Cut on and missed first pitch fastball, something he didn't do last night. He took a lot of first pitch fastballs last night for strikes.
Late in the game, too, in a close game. I believe it was Grant Balfour was in right over the top of the fastball, right down the middle, and he took it. I don't know if he went into the game saying, I want to see some more pitches or what. Did not work out for him, though.
0-2. Price has got 96-mile-an-hour heat. And he elected to throw a breaking ball with 2 strikes to Bautista. Cost him a run. David Price, a former #1 overall pick of the Rays out of Vanderbilt University. And he moved quickly through the organization. Pitched in the World Series 2008. Made 2 appearances. There goes Bautista, throw to second base in time as Rodriguez came up the line, grabbed the ball and tagged Bautista before he got to second. Good throw by Navarro, but Blue Jays score a run on the RBI base hit by Jose Bautista. 1-0.
Owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Blue Jays jump out in front 1-0 after 1 inning. Jose Bautista with his 42nd RBI of the season. Ben Zobrist leads it off, and he's a switch hitter, but you'll notice he is batting right-handed against Sean Markham.
Just look at the numbers for Sean Markham. Lefties, righties. Lefties are hitting 166. Right-handers at 280 versus Markham. And I think what you do when you hit right-handed is you take away that changeup.
Lifted down the right field line. Bautista over near the wall. Into foul ground. Makes the catch. Great concentration by Bautista. He knew he was running out of room, but stayed with it to make the catch.
And that ball was drifting away from him, and he stayed right with it. You want to look for the wall very quickly. Know where you are. Bautista played that easily. There he is drifting. He sees how much room he has. Takes a look for where the wall is. Doesn't give up on it. Makes a nice catch.
Perfect timing. He glanced over there, knew how far he had to go, and made the catch very easily. One quick out here in the second. Gabe Kapler takes a strike. Kapler's in right field tonight. We mentioned no Carlos Pena in the lineup. Zobrist has started at first, and Rodriguez at second. Kapler moves to right. Got him. Fastball got away from Markham, and Kapler's aboard.
Third time this year that Sean Markham has hit a batter. Just trying to push that hitter off the plate. And it just grazes the jersey of Gabe Kapler.
Just got away from him. Kapler's at first. He runs well. Markham checked with Gonzalez to see who had coverage. Wanted to make sure he had the proper alignment. You would expect Hill to cover on the comebacker. There you see Hill in his defensive position there, close to the bag. Interesting, Navarro as well, a switch hitter, batting right-handed. One thing they don't realize that Markham throws changeups to right-handers as well.
They did this against the White Sox, the Tampa Bay Rays, when Burley and Dangs, who've got great changeups, they did the same thing. Their switch hitters did not hit on the opposite side of the box.
On the ground, at the hole, Gonzalez quickly to second for one. Kapler saved the double play. Gabe Kapler with his aggressive slide. Hill had a chance with the catcher running at first, but Kapler took Hill out at second. What a play by Gonzalez again.
Quickly to get there on his knees, and he throws a strike right to Aaron Hill. And you're right, Gabe Kapler has every right to that bag. And he goes in hard right over the bag and breaks up the double play and keeps the inning going.
Great baseball play by Kapler. Eliminates any chance for Hill to make the return throw to first. 2 outs now for Brignac. Brignac was charged with an error in the first inning. The error allowing Fred Lewis to go first to third. Lewis would eventually score. There's that changeup. Brignac is a straight left-handed hitter. He can't turn to the other side.
You can see why he is so tough on left-handed batters, how that changeup just fades down and away from him. With great arm action and speed.
0-2. Just flared down the left field line. Mariano Rivera would get switch hitters from time to time to bat right-handed against them, to take that cutter away from him. Markham now is gaining the reputation that that changeup is so devastating to left-handed hitters. The Rays have chosen to hit right-handed against them.
They have the same numbers that we do. They see that lefties are hitting just $160 against Markham this year.
Good pitch just off the plate. I think the one thing about Markham is he won't be rattled by it. He'll just figure out where to go and how to attack them. It's not as if that's his only weapon.
He's got plenty that he can go to. Cutters and change-up sliders, whatever.
Got him. Hey, right back with a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Brignac strikes out. First strikeout for Sean Markham. He stranded 3 runners through 2. New York Yankees, and Paul Tracy will throw out the first pitch. What a beautiful car. His Honda J's IndyCar Series will be here. Paul Tracy will be signing autographs at section 127 from 5:40 p.m. to 6:10 p.m. Paul will be racing his number 15 Make-A-Wish Blue Jays car in the Honda Indy in July. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. More, check out at Rogers Plus Center or call 416-341-1234. That is a spectacular race car. Well, Paul Tracy in Friday. First game of the Yankee series. Alex Gonzalez was at the plate in the first inning when Bautista was caught stealing. So this is his second look at Big David Price. Breaking ball, tapped foul.
You know what, one of the things in that first inning, that error, what it did to David Price is it pushed his pitch count up. In that complete game that he had against the Blue Jays back in April, he only threw 108 pitches. And he is over a quarter of the way there through one inning. So something to think about if you're Joe Maddon.
Yeah, you know what? Even though it contributed to the run scoring, it probably was more punitive to Price because it extended the inning. Joe Maddon and the pitching coach, Jim Hickey, well aware of that. One thing their starters have done all year long is pitch deep into the game. Gonzalez battling Price here. Boy, Price has got a good fastball. He come out throwing 95, 96 early in the game. He's already been able to get the breaking ball over. We haven't seen his changeup yet. Got a lot of weapons. Jammed right to the second baseman on one hop, and Gonzalez is retired.
And that really wasn't the case for David Price when he first came up to the major leagues a few years ago.
David Price came up to the ball club, and he was a two-pitch pitcher. He had a fastball and a slider, and by all accounts from the pitching coach, Jim Hickey, the slider wasn't really that good. And Hickey told him at the end of the season, you need a third pitch. You need to have a changeup. And boy, he came back the next spring with a great changeup.
Remember, he came up to the big leagues pitching out of the bullpen. And you can get away in the bullpen throwing just two pitches. And he had two above average pitches. But to get into that starting rotation, you need a little bit more.
David Price came up at the end of the 2008 season, his first professional season, and pitched in 5 games. Actually had a win and a save in the postseason before he had a regular season win and a save. Good breaking ball, catches the outside corner, 0-2. Overbay, 0-2. That's to the gap in center. All the way to the wall. Overbay's around first. He'll head to second base. Upton digs it out. Overbay's going for third. Here's the relay from Sean Rodriguez. Wide of the mark. Lyle Overbay with his second triple, a one-out triple here in the second.
Well, David Price is upset with himself. You can see it there on his facial expressions and his body language. Not happy where he threw that 0-2 pitch right down Broadway. And the way that Lyle Overbay has been swinging, you can hear him upset with himself with that ball landing in the gap in right center field and a runner at third base.
Infield will come in halfway now with Overbay at third and one out. John Buck, the batter. Buck had 2 RBI in the game last night, including his 9th home run. The home run was a solo shot in the 5th, and then he had a sac fly in the 6th. Blue Jays ahead 1-0 here. Breaking ball catches the inside corner. Give us your approach here in this situation for John Buck against Price.
I think you still have to stay aggressive. I think you see the ball first. You're not trying to guide the ball anywhere. You can't guide it into the outfield, but you're looking for a pitch up in the zone to get into the outfield.
Now the curveball misses down. Overbay with the triple. Get instructions from Brian Butterfield. It's an unusual infield alignment. The infield is halfway. Another breaking ball. Edwin Encarnacion is on deck.
Infield is halfway because they look at the runner over at third base and they feel like anything on the ground, they still would have time to get him at the plate. If I'm the Blue Jays, I'm playing make the ball go through right here. You don't want to be running into an out. You're already in scoring position with just one out.
Another off-speed pitch. Full count to John Buck. You just got to believe that Price is going to throw a fastball now. Trying to elevate the fastball and go for the strikeout. Fastball punched over the dugout.
What do you throw? 5 straight breaking balls to John Buck?
And it's difficult to get the bat out in front when you see nothing but off-speed pitches.
Still thinking like a catcher, aren't you?
You never get away from it.
I know.
John Buck hits it deep to center field. Upton will make the catch. Overbay will tag at third, and he will come in to score. John Buck delivers the sacrifice fly. The Jays are out in front 2-0.
You know what I saw in John Buck in that at-bat? No panic. He didn't panic when he got to 2 strikes against David Price. Foul off a very tough fastball, sits on the breaking ball, and that's what he gets. Breaking ball, and he has a good pass at the ball, good swing. Stays back, uses his hands, and he's plenty strong enough to drive that ball deep enough to get the run in.
Edwin Encarnacion with 2 outs. John Buck had a sac fly in last night's game. Delivers here against David Price. Fastball on the outside corner, 96 miles an hour. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs here. Upstairs, 2-2. Jays scored a single run in the first. They've added a run here in the second. Bautista drove in the first run, and John Buck with his sac fly is knocked in the second. Buck now with 29 ribbies. Breaking ball, full count.
David Price has a very good breaking ball tonight. When he uses it in the right situations, he'll get some strikeouts. That time, that 2-strike curveball was called up.
Another full count pitch to Encarnacion. Left field line. It's got a chance to get down, but Crawford runs over and makes the catch down in the left field corner. Encarnacion hit it hard. The Blue Jays add a run. They lead 2-0 after 2. June 4th, 5th, and 6th, the Jays against the Yankees. You can donate non-perishable food items, monetary, old and used cell phones. Those donations will be collected at gates 3, 5, 10, and 13 pregame. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com. Stop by most Rogers Plus locations, or you can call 416-341-1234. And we're very happy to be joined by a couple of the Lady Jays, Laura Frazier and Lakeisha Birdie. Welcome to the booth.
Thank you.
There's a drive down the left field line. Fred Lewis can't make the play, and the ball bounces out of play. A leadoff double for B.J. Upton. But the Lady Jays food drive, 26th annual food drive. Tell us about it, Laura, and what the Lady Jays' role is in this.
It's our annual food drive. We host it every year, like you said, 26 years and going strong. It is this Friday, June the 4th, till Sunday, June the 6th. We're starting collecting when gates open, so Friday at 5:30, Saturday and Sunday at 11. And we're taking monetary donations as well as non-perishable food donations.
Lakeisha, you two both are from Toronto, so this must be a special opportunity for you to help your hometown.
Yeah, I mean, it's always for a good cause, and I really like to be able to be a contributor to how we can better our city.
Now, you said money, too, right? Not just the items.
Not just the items, which is good to know, because the way the food bank can use the money is they can stretch every dollar we give them into about $2. And last year we were able to raise just over $36,000 and just over 6,600 pounds of food. So we're hoping to outdo ourselves this year.
Carl Crawford pops it into center field. Vernon Wells will make the catch. Upton's tagging up, but he'll hold his ground at second. So obviously the families always want to get involved, and Lakeisha, you're Adam Lynn's fiance. You're going to be married this November, so congratulations on that.
Thank you.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah,
and Laura, you're going to be a mom for the first time in July. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. We're really excited, yes.
That's awesome. So the Lady Jays will be helping the donators. When they come in, you'll be there and you'll be identified with jerseys, and you'll be standing at the gates as well?
We'll be at the main gates, like you said, with our jerseys on, and we're also very grateful to have about 15 to 20 volunteers from the food bank to come out and help us throughout the entire weekend.
Do the fans need to come down a little earlier than normal, or what do they need to do?
We'll only be there until game time, first pitch. So Friday 5:30 to about 7, and Saturday and Sunday 11 till about 1. They can still, by all means, contribute. We often try and come around to the suites and see if anyone in the suite is willing and able to donate. And if they bring food, they can definitely leave them with security at the gates.
Well, I think you should knock on all the suite doors because they have a lot of money, obviously, and they'll be happy to do it.
I'm coming up here.
Money's easy to handle, that's for sure.
We've given in the past before,
so
you know how to get up here now. Okay,
yeah,
so
we expect you to stop by,
yeah,
that's for sure.
We just found our way up.
Okay, well, let's top this door first then.
But it must be, like I said, so many people don't really understand how the Blue Jays family gets involved in the community, but it's extra special for you two since you grew up here.
Yeah, we're both from here, and I think it's near and dear to the Lady Jays organization as well, to everyone's hearts. Just the 26 years, I think it's got to be one of our longest standing charitable causes within the community.
Yes, it's definitely something that is expected every year from all of our loyal friends, and it's a great opportunity to give to the food bank, which helps people throughout the year, both single families and those in need.
Well, ladies, we thank you very much. We understand you walked away from a great baby shower tonight, so we appreciate the sacrifice to come up and join us.
We appreciate you letting us come in and chat.
Well, thank you very much.
You.
Good luck on the food drive, and we'll hope to help you out as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Encarnacion made a good play to throw out Longoria at first. There are now 2 downs. Upton goes to third base. Blue Jays still leading it 2-0.
That was a very good play by the third baseman, Encarnacion, who was standing back on that ball. Longoria really runs well. Congratulations. As we were saying about Encarnacion has a very strong arm, and he throws out Longoria for the big second out.
So now it'll be Willie Ibar batting with Upton at third base in 2 down. Curveball fouled out. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Buck, you guys were talking about Joe Madden throwing out the traditional baseball book. Well, he's done that here in this game. Ibar, his second career start hitting in the 4-hole. Meanwhile, Sean Rodriguez, who's hitting 5th, his first ever start in the 5-hole. So a couple of big changes here tonight for Joe Madden.
Well, Sammy, they have really had a tough time scoring runs. In the month of May, they scored just 4.3 runs compared to over 6 in April, so they're trying to shake up the lineup a bit.
Ibar, another one of the switch hitters hitting from the right side, and it's interesting. All three of the switch hitters who are in the lineup here tonight hit better from the left side than they do from the right side.
Yeah, it's pretty dramatic departure from the norm, even though the numbers suggest that you might have an advantage. You just have to wonder how unusual it is visually for the batters that don't face right-handers from the right side.
And that ball going away from you instead of coming into you.
Yeah, you can take the breaking ball and all of that, but it's breaking differently than you're used to. As a switch hitter, you always bat left-handed against a right-handed pitcher. Two down here with Upton at third base. Just missed low. 2-2. Blue Jays are up 2-0. They've scored a single run in each of the first 2 innings here. Sean Markham has done a good job. He's stranded 3 so far. Curveball pulled out of play. And Sam mentioned Willie Ibar hitting in the cleanup spot. He has always been a guy that's given this Blue Jays ball club trouble.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's come up with big hits, home runs when he needs it. This year hitting about 260 with runners in scoring position. But against the Jays, you can elevate that.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Man at third. Good job by John Buck. Really threw down the glove and blocked that ball very efficiently.
That's another part of his game that has really been cleaned up since the first part of the season. Getting down and just smothering that ball and keeping in front of him. He knows who's over at third base. Upton can really run, and a ball that gets just a little bit away from him. Upton with that good speed can score.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Right back up the middle, but there's Aaron Hill. And he throws out Ibar. Sean Markham strands another Rays base runner. He leads 2-0. Jeff Neiman.
Splitter, that was down, but not down enough. Fred Lewis hits the ball hard. Had a really interesting conversation with Jose Bautista today about Fred Lewis. I said, did you think he could hit the ball as hard as he hits it now when you played against him in the National League? And he says, he is a lot like me. When I was with Pittsburgh, I didn't know how to hit until I came to Toronto, where you can sit on pitches and get ready and get the bat head out. So he feels that himself, Bautista, and Lewis have really benefited coming over here.
Yeah, I spoke to Dwayne Murphy about that specifically with Fred Lewis in regard, and I thought, and I asked Dwayne, did you do anything with Lewis? He hits it on the ground to second base, and Lewis is retired. And Murphy's response was, nope, all we did was suggest that he gets ready early. And that's a familiar theme up and down the lineup. Dwayne Murphy wants his hitters to just get ready, and it gives yourself a chance to look at the ball, identify what it is, and see where the pitch is.
And take a good swing. And it's funny when you watch good hitters like we have through the first couple of months of the season with the Blue Jays, and you see other teams, something as simple as just getting ready to get the bat head out shows when the other teams don't do it. They take emergency hacks, they foul the ball the other way, and you say, if you only get ready, it really takes away a lot of the problems in your swing.
When you think about it, and we don't see too many what you would call funky swings from the Blue Jay hitters. They get ready. They might miss pitches.
Yeah.
But it's not a tentative swing.
Now you might get, that's a very good swing right there, by the way.
That's a perfect example. Right on time, Aaron.
1-1, a good swing. You might see defensive swings to foul off pitches like we saw John Buck last inning, a fastball, and he was sitting on a breaking ball, and he had the emergency swing to foul it off. But it's an aggressive approach, yet under control.
It's working. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hill, center field, DJ Upton. He's got the speed and closes ground to make the catch. 2 outs. Adam Lind will bat with nobody on. Lind hit into a fielder's choice in the first inning. A ground ball to the shortstop. Brignac missed the ball, went to center. Brignac was charged with the error, but the error was on the plate that allowed Lewis to go to third. So Lewis moves to third. Lynn gets a fielder's choice.
And I notice another error up there on the scoreboard now, too, for Tampa.
There's a ground ball to second base, and we'll talk about that error when we come back. Quick inning for David Price. 3 up, 3 down in the third.
that fan, he'll rest it against the side in order to keep that thing as wide as possible.
Pretty good insight, Sam, and you can see the flare of the glove there as Markham delivers the first pitch.
I noticed how his fingers are so wide apart when he brings the ball into the glove right there. Look how wide his fingers are, and the only reason you do that is you don't want that glove moving when you're reaching inside there for the baseball.
John Rodriguez pops it up in foul territory. Overbay is there. 1 out. Well, another thing, too, about Markham and his glove is he's a position player. Played shortstop in college, played shortstop in high school. And, you know, he understands that probably helps him field as well. Spreads that glove out big as possible. That's what an infielder would do. Make that pocket as big as you can.
Ball goes in, doesn't come out. But how many times did you stand at the plate and the pitcher would reach for the ball, and when he would dig for a changeup, his fingers on his glove would move, and that would tell you what pitch is coming.
Yeah, a lot of guys will really try to camouflage that now. Ryan Dempster, the pitches for the Cubs, is so paranoid he shakes his glove like crazy as he's going into his windup. That curveball misses. It's a ball on the strike to Ben Zobrist.
When I was with the Cleveland Indians, we used to wear out Mike Witt. And Mike Witt was a good pitcher.
Very good pitcher. Threw a no-hitter.
Yeah, for the Angels. But the thing about him, and here comes another changeup, is he had his index finger outside the glove, and whenever he would dig in to throw that very good curveball, that index finger would move on his glove, and you could see it clear as day. Joe Carter picked up on that, and we used to wear him out, and he never figured it out, at least when he pitched against the Indians.
Yeah. 2 balls and a strike to Zobrist. Sharply hit right to Encarnacion. Grabs it about knee high, takes the line drive. 2 outs here in the 4th.
Both pitchers seem to be settling in. Zobrist has been swinging the bat hot. That time has nothing to show for that line drive.
Gabe Kapler was hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Good sinking fastball. Hitters always looking for some telltale movement, a little indication, maybe the glove set higher on a particular pitch. Anything to give them an edge. Kapler drives it to right. Bautista over into the gap, and he'll make a catch. Sean Markham's retired 6 in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4th. We played 3.5 here at Rogers Center. Blue Jays lead it 2-0. In to start a 3-game series, June 4th, 5th, and 6th. Saturday and Sunday are 107 games. Friday nights, 7:07 start. Tickets, call 416-341-1234, or you can log on to BlueJays.com, or you can stop by most Rogers Plus locations. Cecil, Romero, Morrow. That's the pitching matchup for the Blue Jays. Looks like they knew we were talking about that. Vernon Wells inside the line down the right field line. He'll go around first, headed for second. Kapler's got a good arm, but it's off the line. Leadoff double for Vernon Wells.
21st double of the season for Wells, an extra base machine, and he keeps it up. One thing that I have noticed about Vernon Wells this year is he's using the whole field. First pitch swinging and hits the ball right over the bag at first base and down into the right field. Hustles into second base, another leadoff double.
Well, we talked about it all night last night about tack-on runs. You've got to expand your lead against this Rays team. Take advantage of this leadoff double. Jose Bautista looks at an outside fastball. Fly ball into left, not deep. Crawford makes the catch, and Wells will have to stay at second.
I was watching the two young middle infielders for the Tampa Bay Rays during those pitches versus Bautista, and there was some confusion of who was going to try and keep Vernon Wells close to second base. Sean Rodriguez was looking at Brignac. Brignac was looking at Rodriguez. And finally, the shortstop told the second baseman, get a little bit closer because Vernon Wells is very good at stealing third base.
And you know that they're playing these right-handed hitters to pull, so Brignac has to stay in the hole at shortstop. He's just too far away from second to be effective.
For the first batter of the inning, Sean Rodriguez, the second baseman, was a little bit too far away from Vernon Wells. He has shortened that up now as you see him jockeying back and forth.
Alex Gonzalez grounded to second his first time up. He's got the count in his favor now. 2 balls and no strikes. Blue Jays are out in front 2-0 here. There's a bat in the bottom of the fourth. Gonzalez out in front, left foot down the left field line. Crawford coming on, drops the ball. It's a foul ball.
It's not
by Angel Hernandez was right on the line, and when Crawford made contact with that baseball, it was in foul territory.
It's not where your feet are, it's where the ball is. You're right, Angel Hernandez right on top of that one, following the flight of the ball down the left field line. Watch him. He's going to come out, stay right on that line, and see where that ball is when Crawford touches it. And it's definitely foul.
It's important the umpire keeps his perspective, so he went down the left field line and stayed right on that foul line, and when the contact was made, he could see clearly that it was in foul ground. Wells is at second. 2 balls and a strike to Gonzalez. Another foul back. That's the third error charged to Tampa Bay. Crawford is charged with an error. His first error of the season.
He is a good outfielder, covers lots of grounds. He's sure-handed, and he's got a good arm. That time it just bounced off of his glove.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Gonzalez. Vernon Wells is caught in between first, second, and third. Now the rundown. Rodriguez and Longoria will tag him out. David Price did a good job. He gave him a second look, and Wells was out in no man's land.
The first couple of batters here, he was a one-looker. He'd look at him one time and then go home. Back and forth. This time, Price gives him 2 looks and then the inside move. Watch him look back, and he's got the inside move, and he sees that Wells was trying to steal third base. And he is tagged out by Longoria.
Whatever you do to defend against the running game, you have to mix it up, and Price was right on time. And there he gets Gonzalez to chase. So the Blue Jays get the leadoff double, can't do a thing with it, but after 4, they still lead David Price 2-0. TV. You can watch over 2,000 games live or on demand in HD quality. Packages starting at $99.99. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. Just as we expected, a good pitcher's duel here at Rogers Center tonight. Blue Jays lead it 2-0. There's 7 hits in the game. Sean Markham up against David Price. Deoner Navarro is leading things off here in the 5th. If you just joined us, the switch hitters in this lineup tonight have all elected to bat right-handed against Sean Markham in an effort to neutralize his changeup and his advantage against left-handers, and so far that's the first time it worked. Snap throw to first, and Navarro is just safe by a step. Big smile on his face, and Bautista charged quickly.
Not a bad idea.
Great idea.
Jose Bautista, heads-up play by the right fielder. A one-hopper to the right fielder. He's charging quickly. Well, you better come out of that batter's box quick, or you might get thrown out at first.
Well, and that's his infield background. Navarro could laugh about it now, but had he been thrown out, it'd been a different story. Leadoff batter on here. Brignac showing bunt. Bunts it right out in front of him. John Buck goes to second. Off the glove of Gonzalez. Navarro's safe. He'll go to third. Brignac hustling towards second. He'll make it. John Buck made a strong throw to second. They had Navarro on the bunt. Gonzalez looked like it went off the heel of his glove.
John Buck came out of there quickly and made a strong throw, and I think the ball had a little bit more carry than Alex Gonzalez thought. It gets there and goes off of his glove into short center field. We'll see who gets the error, but the ball was glanced off his glove. It died in short center field. That also allowed Reed Brignac to go around and get into scoring position at second base.
Fielder's choice, E2.
Didn't he square around to sacrifice?
He squared around to sacrifice.
So it should be a sacrifice.
I don't understand that. And there's been some questionable scoring the last couple of nights. But Brignac bunted, squared around, and he was sacrificing with nobody out.
So there shouldn't be a fielder's choice because that would be an at-bat.
So it's second and third, and no outs here. The Rays threatening. Upton had a ground rule double in the third, singled in the first. Good breaking ball.
Let's take a look at that throw one more time from John Buck.
There's the bunt, and Buck's throw is a strong one. Let's see if it skips. Right off the glove of Gonzalez. Didn't bounce. Just kind of sailed on him a bit. But they give the air to the catcher and no sacrifice to Brignac. Two balls and a strike to Upton. He's perfect tonight with a couple of hits. Both pitchers have now allowed 4 hits.
Let's take one more look at that throw from John Buck, and I think this angle might help us see if that ball hit the dirt or not.
Looked like it did just skip right before it got to the glove of Gonzalez. A very short hop. 2 balls and a strike, nobody out. Late swing by Upton, foul back. He tried to wait on that changeup and just mistimed it.
The thing about Upton, as you see him shaking his head, all he has to do is get set just a little bit quicker. He's got a little hitch with his lower half, his front foot. He taps, and he tries to use that as a timing mechanism, but it gets him in trouble sometimes. Watch his front foot as he raises that when the pitch is on its way.
Fly ball right field. Fairly deep. Bautista's got a strong arm. Navarro, the catcher, tags at third. He's coming to play is on money. He is out. What a great throw by Bautista. Knowing who he had running from third, he tried to throw him out at first on the single. He throws him out at home on the possible sac fly.
He doesn't get him the first time, but he gets him at the most important time. He gets behind the ball so his momentum is coming home, and he's quick and accurate. You can't throw a ball better than that on one hop to John Buck, who just blocks the plate and keeps the Ray catcher Navarro from scoring.
2 outs. Man at third base. Boy, that's a catcher's dream. You get a throw like that. A one-hop strike. Great swing by Crawford, fouled off. It's a double play 9-2. Bautista did a great job of anticipating the ball, set up, had his momentum going straight toward home plate and threw a strike to John Buck.
Those are the balls you want as a catcher, and plenty of time to catch it and brace yourself for that runner coming into the plate.
One and one to Carl Crawford. Markham's done another great job of pitching around trouble so far. He has stranded 4 already in this ball game. Had a base runner erased at the plate by his defense. Cued off the end of the bat. Look at Buck run up the third baseline with the possibility of that ball spinning back into fair territory.
I have seen balls just like that turn and go fair for base hits. Cued right off the end of the bat. They've got so much English on the ball that they head towards the coach's box and then make a right-hand turn and end up being fair ball.
Yeah, you can sense it as a catcher that ball was hit right off the end of the bat, and it's going to put all that spin on the baseball. That's why he hustled up the line. 1-2 now. It's a ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs to Carl Crawford. Right back up the middle, base hit. Brignac comes in to score. Crawford delivers the 2-out, 2-strike base hit.
He had the right idea, did Sean Markham, against Carl Crawford. Soft early in the count and then try and get him looking at something a little bit harder away, but Crawford's just a good hitter. Bangs it right back from where it came from.
26 RBI for Carl Crawford. He's a threat at first now with 2 outs. 17 for 21 in the steals. Pitch out, nothing doing. The way Markham can throw strikes, it wouldn't be a bad idea to pitch out again. Let's see if you can catch Crawford breaking.
The best time to go is after a pitch out. You're right, the way that Sean Markham can throw strikes, he can come back from a 2-0 count.
Longoria up the third baseline. Markham's a great fielder. What a play! Oh my! Sean Markham again showing his great defensive skills. Takes the ball barehanded, going away from first base. Off balance. Look at the help he gets from Overbay. What a great job the defense has made.
Off tomorrow, the Blue Jays will face the Yankees. Here are the probables: Burnett and Cecil in Game 1 Friday night. Pettit and Romero, a good one on Saturday. And Vasquez and Morrow will round it out, the 3-game set on Sunday. The Yankees and the Jays coming up this weekend.
Lyle Overbay with his second hit of the night. First pitch swinging, drills it right back into center. Overbay had a double in the second inning. It was initially ruled a triple, but they changed it to a double and charged the center fielder B.J. Upton with an error.
That double by Overbay, just the third extra base hit given up by David Price this year to a left-handed batter. That's how he has been so tough against him, but Overbay is starting to heat up.
John Buck with a sac fly to center his last time up. Jumps on a first pitch fastball. Last night, Buck homered in his second at bat, deep to center field off Jeff Neiman.
Looked like another breaking ball, the same type of pitch that he hit to center field for the sac fly his first time up.
Both teams with 5 hits apiece. It's a 2-1 ball game. A ball and 2 strikes. Rays have committed 3 errors tonight. Brignac, Upton, and Carl Crawford all charged with errors. Crawford, that's his first error of the season. Brignac had a ball go through his legs. Looked like a potential double play ball. Crawford dropped the ball on the left field line after a long run. And Upton bobbled the ball that Overbay hit to center.
Yeah, and both of those errors costly because it cost him runs. Double play, Price should have been out of the first inning. The Overbay ball, if he comes up with it and leaves him at second base, it's a shutout inning also for Price. That's when you have to pick up your teammates, because they're going to have to pick you up at some point in the season.
The throw to first. Overbay not much of a base stealing threat. Certainly not going to run yourself out of an inning with this potent offense. Give John Buck a chance to hit. Buck's got 9 home runs. His career high came in Kansas City a couple years ago. He had 18. Got a piece of it. You mentioned the improvement of John Buck behind the plate. I think it has to do with his getting more familiar with the pitching staff. More than anything, you can catch them all you want in the spring, but boy, until you get into the heat of battle, balls are going to move a little differently during the course of a game.
And remember, in the spring, they might catch them for an inning or 2 in spring training.
High breaking ball.
You might catch how many pitchers in spring training? 20?
Yeah.
25?
And they probably have 30 pitchers in camp, so you're going to be spread around. But Buck and Molina both in their first camp with the Jays made an effort to catch all the projected pitching staff here, but it's still different when you're catching them in the spring than in the regular season. Base hit, right field. Kapler gets over, cuts it off, bobbles it now, and Overbay goes first to third. John Buck with his first hit of the night. Blue Jays got something going here in the 5th. Quickly, let's check in to Sam Cosentino.
Historic news with Ken Griffey Jr. retiring, but more historic news in Detroit. Armando Galarraga is perfect through 8 innings. Right now, it's Cleveland pitching with Detroit hitting, so he is perfect through 8. We'll continue to monitor that.
Wow, Ken Griffey Jr. retiring here the 2nd of June, and Galarraga trying to throw the 3rd perfect game this season. Encarnacion swings at the breaking ball.
Perfect through 8.
Junior Griffey, Ken Griffey Jr. retiring. Didn't feel like he was getting enough at bats to be effective, and he didn't want to be a distraction to the Mariners. Encarnacion pops it up behind second. Now Kapler calls for it, takes the catch. Overbay bluffs a break to home. That ball is cut off by Zobrist. So Encarnacion pops out to the right fielder. Overbay has to hold his ground.
And the Jays have got to get this run in. They had a leadoff double last inning, stranded. 2 base hits, and they haven't scored yet. They have the right guy up there, I think, the way Fred Lewis is swinging the bat, but they've got to get these runs in because the Rays have been so good late in ball games against the Blue Jays.
Lewis on the ground, should be 2. There's the second for 1. Back to first, double play. David Price gets out of it. Back-to-back base hits to start the inning, but Price knuckled down and keeps the Blue Jays off the board. Still a 1-run game.
We came into this game with the 3rd best earned run average pitcher in the American League and the 4th best pitcher in the American League in terms of earned run average, and they haven't disappointed. 5 innings in the books. Toronto leads at 2-1. No walks, just 3 strikeouts between these 2 pitchers, which is surprising.
Man, it's interesting, the totally different styles of the pitcher. Price, the power pitcher with all the good fastball, and Markham, the guy with all the finesse, making the ball move to both sides of the plate. Just proves that you can be very effective in 2 totally different styles of attack. Willie Ibar starts it off. He is 0 for 2 tonight. Takes the first pitch strike. Defense has been huge here tonight for the Jays. Markham made a terrific play to end the Rays' threat in the 5th. Fielding a barehanded swinging bunt up the third baseline off the bat of Evan Longoria and threw a 1-hop strike to Overbay at first to end the inning. Earlier in the inning, he got a nice play from his right fielder. Jose Bautista, who gunned down Leona Navarro at the plate. A 9-2 double play. Off the plate outside. This is the 6th start Markham has made after a Blue Jays loss. Coming into this game, he was 5-0 with a 1.41 ERA in his previous starts after a loss.
Only one starting pitcher has more wins following a team's loss this season.
Strike 3 called. Fastball on the corner.
Paint that corner against Ibar, and that's just what Markham does to put him away. Right there, right into the heart of the glove of John Buck for the first out. That one pitcher who has more wins after a team's loss, Urbano Jimenez. He is 7-0.
First pitch strike to Rodriguez. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see Jimenez when the club goes into Denver to play the Rockies. Great changeup. Rodriguez laid off him. Sean Rodriguez batting in the 5th spot for the first time this year. Went too far. A ball and 2 strikes. Joe Madden trying to shake up his offense a bit, plus give Carlos Pena a day off. Pena is not in the lineup tonight. So Madden had to do some juggling of the lineup. Change up. Just got a piece of it. Look at the Jays' schedule after this game tonight. Then have an off day, and then they'll welcome in the New York Yankees for a 3-game weekend series. And then they'll have another off day on Monday before they travel down to St. Petersburg, Florida to take on Tampa Bay in another 3-game series. A ball and 2 strikes. Fly ball right field. Bautista on the run. He'll watch this ball hit off the wall. Rodriguez around first, into second. He's got a stand-up 1-out double.
When you watch these Rays hitters, you watch them as they pile up at bats. 2nd time through the lineup, 3rd time through the lineup. And they take the information that they learned early in the game and they use it to their advantage. Thought I saw that with Sean Rodriguez in this at bat. He popped out his first 2 times up, but now he's a little bit more patient, shortens his swing up a little bit, and it worked. Doubles off the right field wall.
So Rodriguez represents the tying run. He's in scoring position at 2nd. And Zobrist takes the first pitch strike. We mentioned that the switch hitters in this lineup, and there are 3 of them in the Rays lineup, have all hit right-handed against Sean Markham. Markham's season numbers suggest he's been much more dominant against left-handed hitters than right.
Well, I guess the next question is, how's it going so far through 3 at-bats each?
There's a base hit. Vernon Wells will come from center field, and Rodriguez will score easily. The Rays have tied it up here. A 1-out double and a RBI base hit. We're tied at 2.
The answer is the 2nd base hit.
Now they have ruled that the base runner at 3rd base missed 3rd on the appeal. Angel Hernandez calls out Sean Rodriguez. That wipes out the run. Joe Madden's going to go have another discussion with Angel Hernandez.
This is 3 times this series that Joe Madden has had to come out of the dugout and have a word with the umpires.
He can't believe it, but Angel Hernandez, he stepped over the base, Joe. Tom Foley, the third base coach. Last night they got called on the neighborhood play at second. Tonight they get called for not tagging the base. Watch Rodriguez. Step short of the bag. Boy, he looked like he might have got it on the left heel. Watch the heel. Looked like he stepped on the front edge of the base as he was going over the top of it. But the umpire, in his defense, Rodriguez took a very choppy step before he got to the base that suggested he didn't feel he was in stride.
He didn't have his footwork down. But from that replay, looked like the back heel might have clipped the base.
See that stutter step, that right leg missed the base, and Rodriguez is looking down. Watch how he looks down, concentrating on making sure he steps on the bag, and looks like he did with his left heel.
And the umpire's on the other side of the bag. He doesn't have a good look at that.
I think Hernandez saw the stutter step as he came to the base and just assumed that he stepped over the bag.
They just want to create shit.
Do you know how to score that?
5 unassisted.
Thank you.
Peel.
Zobrist is a threat to steal over at first base. Don't forget about him. Seems like all of these Rays runners are not afraid to take off.
Gabe Kapler, 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. He's the right fielder tonight. Sean Rodriguez can't believe that he was called for not stepping on the base. Explaining he got it with his left heel. Two balls and a strike. 2 outs here in a very eventful 6th inning. Ibar struck out to start the inning. Sean Rodriguez hit a double off the wall in right center. And then Ben Zobrist hit what appeared to be an RBI single to center. But the base runner, Sean Rodriguez, was called out for not touching the base at third.
Sean Markin thinking right along. 2-1, speedy runner over at first base. Zobrist is 9 for 10 this year in stolen bases.
Not going. John Buck expected him to run on that 2-1 count. Pretty good pitch to run on. Same for 3-1. You've got to believe they're going to run here.
Yep.
Such a big part of their game. You get Zobrist on the move with the pitch, and if Kapler hits the ball in the gap, he's got a great chance to score from first.
Well, you want to have a batter that doesn't strike out a lot. If you have confidence in him that he'll make contact on 3-1 or will not swing wildly at a pitch.
There goes Zobrist. Popped up, out of play.
And that's when you start the runner. Confidence in a veteran like Gabe Kapler, who's been around. He's not going to swing at pitches out of the strike zone. He'll make contact if it is a strike. That's when you start the runner.
So now it's a full count. And Zobrist will run for sure with 2 outs. Overbay is holding him on at first. Not allowing him to get that big lead. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There goes the run. Into right field, Bautista over near the line, and he will make the catch. Markham strands another base runner. Blue Jays take a run off the board on the appeal in third. Blue Jays lead 2-1. Sean Rodriguez appeared to score the tying run as he came in on this single by Ben Zobrist. Blue Jays appealed to Angel Hernandez at third. Rodriguez did not tag third base, rounding third. Hernandez called him out, and a run was taken off the board.
In all the excitement of that play, what a heads-up play by whoever recognized that he might have stepped over the bag. It might have been Edwin Encarnacion. Third baseman is taught on a base hit to center field, you make sure that runner touches third base. So if it was him, good job to wipe that run off the board.
He has no cutoff responsibilities, so all he has to do is watch the base runner. Jose Bautista made a similar play early in the season when a base runner overran third base and didn't re-tag the base on his way back to second on a sac fly.
He was playing third then.
Yep.
That's right.
Ground ball to Longoria, backs up, strong arm, uses the turf, not in time. Base hit, Aaron Hill. Good hustle by Aaron Hill. Longoria gave ground, backed up several steps, and Hill beats it out.
I was watching Longoria and BP, and he was practicing this play where he one-hops the ball over to the first baseman. He had to give so much ground to catch the ball in the air, and that allowed Hill to outrun the baseball.
Joe Madden out to talk to Dan Bellino. Bellino made the call at second base last night on the neighborhood play that Brignac left the bag before he caught the ball. Nobody out. Adam Lind takes the first pitch outside. First two games in this series, both decided by one run. Blue Jays won the opener 3-2, lost last night 7-6. That's where we're at here tonight in the sixth, a 2-1 game. hit him. Ooh. That one hurt.
Happened to Adam Lynn right at the end of the season last year in Boston. He had hit a couple of home runs against the Red Sox, 3, I believe, and Papelbon hit him in the same spot, right in that elbow, and your whole arm goes numb. You can't even feel it right now. He's in some pain. Fastball right on the elbow. There's no pad there. There's no muscle, needle, if you will, to absorb that hit.
Yeah, right off the point of the elbow. So many hitters nowadays wear that elbow pad.
Yep.
To guard against just that.
As a hitter, you're taught on an inside pitch to turn your back to the ball, so you absorb that right on the backside, or right on your back. But he just couldn't get the elbow out of the way, and it looks like it's starting to swell up on him quickly.
Well, you can see that dark spot where that ball hit him right on the point of the elbow. I don't know why they ever came up with the name Funny Bone, because there's nothing funny about that.
That hurts.
First and second. David Price, an infield hit, now a hit batter. Jose Bautista. You can bet he'll be set and ready for the first pitch. Oh, excuse me, Vernon Wells. Vernon Wells takes the first pitch down. Nobody out here in the sixth. Two balls and no strikes. Infield at double play depth behind Price. 3-0. Green light.
He turned around a Soriano fastball in last night's game. I say you have him hitting fourth for a reason. And he can turn around a fastball.
Swinging, hot shot to Longoria. Knocks it down to Rodriguez for one. Back to first, double play. What a play by Longoria. Looked like he might have got on the meat hand, but he stayed with it to make the play and turns a great double play. That was a bullet.
That ball gets on you so quickly, and you're right. It got him in the meat hand. Watch Adam Lynn trying to take out the second baseman on a double play for his teammate. Lynn goes hard into Rodriguez and flips him, but the youngster stays right with him and turns a tough double play.
I tell you what, we've seen these two ball clubs play some good baseball the last 3 nights. Kapler did a great job taking out Aaron Hill, and right there, Sean Rodriguez turned a heck of a double play. Bautista swings at the first pitch and hits it toward left field. Ups it on the run, on the track, at the wall, jumps and makes the catch. He stayed with it and timed his jump perfectly. Takes extra bases away from Bautista. David Price gets terrific defense here in the 6th inning. First the double play, then upped it. Up against the wall and Information provided by Stats Inc. Music provided by Universal Canada. Adam Lynn got hit by David Price on the back of his right elbow. George Poulos, the head trainer, giving him all kinds of medical attention, I'm sure. Keep him in the ball game. Popped up right field. Bautista will make the catch. One pitch, one out.
And you know, the only thing you can do as a base runner then, when you get hit, is do the best job cleanly to take out that second baseman on a double play. Adam Lynn did that. What a good turn by Rodriguez.
Yeah, all you can do, there's no reason to charge the mound. You just try to break up a double play. Boy, that is some knot he's getting on that elbow.
But he hasn't rubbed it.
Don't rub it, that's for sure. Don't give the pitcher any satisfaction. Reed Brignac takes the curveball. One out here in the seventh. Whale of a ball game. Great pitching, great defense. Another ball hit to right. Bautista's been busy.
You know, this has been a great 2-1 game. Who says you can't have good games, low-scoring games? We have seen a little bit of everything tonight.
Well, Bautista throws out a runner at the plate on a double play, 9-2. Markham makes a very good defensive play, a Gold Glove caliber play to retire Longoria. Longoria takes one off the meat hand, off the bat of Vernon Wells, turns a double play, and then Upton threw a little leather on Bautista. Off the end of the bat. Quick inning. Sean Markham, 3 up, 3 down. The Yankees. It'll be Brett Cecil, the left-hander, at 5-2 against former Blue Jay A.J. Burnett. He's 6-2. Action begins at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on Sportsnet, on all Sportsnet channels. Friday, the Yankees come to Rogers Center. David Price has really settled things down here, dealing with Alex Gonzalez to start the seventh. First pitch curveball up and out of the zone. Price struggled in the first 2 innings, through 49 pitches to get through those 2 innings. In the last 4 innings, just 37 pitches.
And again, his defense didn't help him early on. We'll play ground ball to Reed Brignac that would have been out of the inning. 1-2-3 in the first inning. After 3 batters hurt him, that run came around to score, and then an error by Upton on a base hit by Overbay.
Gonzalez pops it back out of play. When you look at the Rays pitching staff, Neiman last night 6'9", big man. Price 6'6", Garza 6'4", Shields 6'3", big, strong, strapping guys that can pitch deep into the game. Drive to left field. Carl Crawford is back. He's got a beat on it. He's at the wall. He jumps and he makes the catch. Crawford goes up against the wall in left field to take extra bases away from Alex Gonzalez. Defense again coming through for David Price.
That is 2 hitters in a row that clobber the ball right to the wall. But the good athleticism of the Rays outfielders, they get back, leap, and that's a great catch by Crawford right up against the bullpen of the Blue Jays. Skies to take away extra base hit.
A terrific natural athlete, Carl Crawford, makes a good catch to start the bottom of the 7th.
I know where you were going with those young pitchers. They're big, they're strong, they come after you. That's what you look for, I think, in pitchers. Long arms, size, stamina. If you do that, you're going to be around.
Overbay down the left field line. That's got a lot of distance, but it's a foul ball into the upper deck. I don't think Overbay thought it was going to be that close. He stayed at home plate. There's a good fan giving a young Blue Jays fan a souvenir. Good job. Oh, 0-2 on Overbay. Elevates the fastball and he strikes out.
When we were talking about these young pitchers, I saw a stat the other day looking up about these guys, and I've never seen it before. The Rays starters coming into this series were leading the major leagues in outs. The starters leading the major leagues in outs per game at almost 20, which is saying the same thing as they last really long into a game, almost 7 innings every time they take them out.
2 outs now, and John Bucks have a big night. Jumped all over that first pitch fastball. He's had a perfect night at the plate. John Bucks put on a show for those great fans enjoying the big comfy chairs at the TD Canada Trust Comfort Zone. Big Blue Jay fans enjoying the TD Canada Trust. Seats courtesy of TD Canada Trust. And John Buck right there putting on a show for him. Sacrifice fly and 2 singles tonight. Two outs now for the third baseman, Edwin Encarnacion. It's the first pitch breaking ball in the dirt. But you talk about 21 outs being 7 innings. And that's what managers would love to get from their starters. You give them 21 outs every night from your start, you can be a pretty good manager.
And they're all young, too. Rays starters averaging just over 25 years old, the second youngest in the major leagues. And I think it's Detroit has the youngest.
Detroit would have Max Scherzer and Rick Porcello. Porcello just 21 years old.
That might go down with Dontrell Willis out of there. Verlander's young.
Willis evidently was picked up by Arizona. A ball and 2 strikes. Encarnacion asks for time. Fouled back. Talk about the age of the Rays, 25.8 average age of their rotation. Blue Jays, as we speak, 26.6, so they're actually older, but they are less experienced. And Pat, you made a great point about the Blue Jays are on the Rays path, but maybe a year behind them.
Yeah, a year, maybe a year and a half.
and kind of shown it's at a mile high into shallow center. B.J. Upton with the long run, and he makes the catch. We've played 7 innings here. Blue Jays leading 2-1.
After an unfortunate night for the Blue Jays bullpen yesterday, Bruce Walton held a meeting this afternoon on the field with all of the pitchers. The one thing he said to me was that, hey, I wanted to have it right on our place of work rather than be an indoor meeting type of guy. The basic premise of the meeting, positive reinforcement and how proud he is of what his staff has done throughout the course of this year and to keep up the good work.
Great job, Sam, as Bruce Walton has been upbeat and done a terrific job with his pitching staff. And there was so much negativity. And, yeah, it was a tough loss last night. Of course it was. And Kevin Gregg, he feels the sting more than anybody. But they just come off a 19-10 month. And I thought that was a great move by the pitching coach, Bruce Walton, to say, hey, fellas, you've done a heck of a job. Don't let one game get in your head. And, boy, Bruce has been upbeat and positive.
So
and he's
positive.
Put together a heck of a young pitching staff. Kyle Crawford right to Aaron Hill. Big first out, keeping Crawford off the bases.
Losses like we saw in last night's ball game, if you let it linger, it can really affect you. But I don't see that from this ball club.
Now, you know what? And there's so much chemistry here. And I think this team really wants to pick up Kevin Gregg. They want to come right back tonight, win the series. I mean, what are you trying to accomplish as a team?
Win the series.
You win the series, and at the end of the year, you'll be playing in the playoffs. Evan Longoria. Boy, what a play he made defensively back in the 6th inning. 1-1. Blue Jays were threatening with nobody out and 2 on, and he took a bullet off the bare hand, stayed with it, and turned it into a 5-4-3 double play.
And he kept grabbing his thumb and working that thumb. I watched him throw in between the innings and really didn't see anything. That ball gets on you in a hurry down there at third base, especially when you have someone like Vernon Wells turning on a 3-0 pitch.
Longoria left field, and Fred Lewis is there to make the catch. 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th. Well, we knew we would see some good pitching in this series. Brian Talent making a start. First time since April 17th. 5 2/3 of 4-hit shutout ball. Brandon Morrow in the first game, 7+ a batter, 3 hits. Matt Garza gave up 10 hits. Neiman sorted himself out and kept the ball club in striking distance.
And then Price and Markham here tonight.
And we have had some stellar defense on both sides tonight. No balls and a strike. Willie Umbar swings, flies to center field. Vernon Wells retreats a couple of steps. Another quick inning for Markham. 1, 2, 3. We played 7.5. Blue Jays lead it by 1. The game presented by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
5th inning, a runner on base and a home run threat. Longoria up, so no chance for the third base, but it's Sean Markham coming off that mound with an outstanding play. We saw one of these earlier this year by Sean Markham, but that one was better.
Great defense all over the diamond tonight on both sides of the field. Rays have played good defense. Markham, Bautista, both making fine defensive plays. A 1-run ball game. David Price, Sean Markham hooked up in a heck of a pitcher's duel. Fred Lewis singled and scored in the first. Reached for a pitch down and away.
Staying away from Fred Lewis.
We mentioned our conversation with Jim Hickey, the pitching coach, who sets up the game plan. And he said Fred Lewis has changed the makeup of this lineup. Up and in, pushed him back. And the reason he's changed the makeup, he brings speed, he brings extra base pop, and he allows Cito Gaston to drop Bautista in a more productive spot in the lineup.
Yeah, remember that's how we started this season. Jose Bautista was the leadoff batter, but he didn't have the speed of a Fred Lewis, who can create some things when he hits the baseball.
2-2. Lewis rips it into the outfield. Second hit of the night for Fred Lewis. Another leadoff base hit.
That's 5 leadoff runners on, as you see Dan Wheeler getting loose just in case. 5 times they've had the leadoff batter on in an inning. They've only been able to bring him around 1 time. That was in the first inning. And here's what the speed can do for you.
Aaron Hill had a hit in his last at bat. A 2-1 game here, bottom of the 8th. Hill hits it. Longoria dives, goes to second for 1, back to first, double play. He does it again. The Gold Glover at third turns 2 Gold Glove caliber plays here tonight. Both great double plays.
1 hit hard, and one hit to his left. Dives, makes a good throw. Watch the turn at second base by Rodriguez. Again, the runner right on top of him, bearing down on him. Good quick hands by that second baseman. He turns it. That was a pretty one.
Boy, both Adam Lind and Fred Lewis were all over Rodriguez, and he's still able to convert the double play. 2 outs now for Adam Lind. He was hit by a pitch his last at bat. Price buried him on the elbow, and now he's got an elbow pad on. Big breaking ball he was out in front of. David Price ahead 0-2. Outside. Just outside. Price still got a lot of zip on the fastball. 95 miles an hour, just missed.
In a good spot, and you can see him walk off the mound because he thought he had strike 3. He's got to gather himself now, compose himself, and throw another pitch. You stand out on that mound and start worrying about that last one. The batter's going to hurt you.
Fouled back. Price is a consummate starter. He's bright. He's a good fielder. He's got all the weapons. He's added 2 pitches since he first came to the big leagues, a changeup and a curveball. I mean, you talk about a prototypical #1 overall draft pick. It's David Price. Then on the ground to Rodriguez. Throws him out. We've played 8 full innings here. It's a 2-1 game. David Price finds himself trailing Sean Markham by a run. Markham set to work. Any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. Sean Markham out to work the 9th. He leads it 2-1 here. Sean Rodriguez cuts on a breaking pitch outside. A ball and a strike. Rodriguez hit a double in the 6th. He is 1 for 3. Laid off the changeup. It'll be Rodriguez, Zobrist, and Gabe Kapler scheduled here in the 9th against Markham.
There's still a left-handed batter. Well, there's a couple of left-handed batters on the bench, but one that comes to mind who didn't start tonight.
Carlos Pena did not start. Of course, he is a home run threat. They also have Hank Blaylock and John Jaso available. 3-1. Hammered past Encarnacion into left field. Sean Rodriguez had a big hit in last night's game in the 9th inning. Tune in tonight for Hockey Central. Full analysis of Game 3 of the Stanley Cup Final. Insider information from our panel and expert commentator you can only find here on Rogers Sportsnet. 11 p.m. Eastern Time. 8 p.m. Pacific Time on Sportsnet Ontario, West and Pacific channels.
That Sean Rodriguez is a nice-looking player. John Jaso has picked up a bat, and he comes to the on-deck circle. Starts off the 9th inning with a single.
Ben Zobrist takes a first pitch strike. There's that changeup to a right-handed batter.
Yep.
The pitch they were trying to neutralize by the switch hitters hitting right-handed.
Markham's not afraid to throw it to right-handers. And the left-handed starters on the Blue Jays are not afraid to throw it to left-handed batters.
2-1 ball game here in the 9th. Sean Rodriguez at first. Base hit left field. Zobrist delivers. 2-on, nobody out. Rodriguez moves to second. Left-hander Scott Downs, right-hander Jason Frazier. Kevin Gregg threw 40 pitches last night. He's not available tonight. Rick Langford pointing to the lineup, reminding Downs who he might be called upon to face.
Just in case, but Sean Markham has brought you all the way here. He's right at or right under 100 pitches, so he's got plenty in the tank. He's a good fielder. He's been in this situation. He's a veteran. And when he finds himself in trouble, he has a way of getting out of it. So we'll see how they play it. John Jaso up there. The corners are in, expecting a bunt.
Jaso does not have a bunt. Last time they faced the Rays down in St. Petersburg, they expected Jaso to bunt against Ricky Romero, and he had a 2-run home run. Long look at Tom Foley, the third base coach. First and second, nobody out. Cut on and missed. Jaso came on as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning in last night's game and walked. He still does not have an official at bat as a pinch hitter. One. Check swing, excuse me, foul. A ball and 2 strikes. You make a great point about Markham staying in this game. He has earned the right to finish this game. He's a great fielder. He can take a comebacker in turn 2. And he understands what he needs to do to get a ground ball right here.
Yep. He's been here. He's worked in and out of trouble. He has already stranded 6 runners tonight.
1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Is checked on Rodriguez. Ground ball, shortstop. Second for 1. That's all they'll get. Tell you what, we're seeing some baseball play here tonight, folks.
Good old-fashioned hardball. Good defense, good pitching, aggressive base running, heads-up play on defense. Ben Zobrist goes hard into Aaron Hill.
And look at the first guy to meet him, Matt Garza, the pitcher. But watch this slide at second base. He stays down and then takes out Aaron Hill with a clean slide at second.
Totally legal, totally clean.
You want to just get airborne as a middle infielder. Make sure you're not grounded when that base runner hits you. But there have been some good takeout slides at second base on both sides. So now the tying run is 90 feet away. The go-ahead run is at first. One out. Infield again. Halfway. Blue Jays have a series of infield defense. They number them 1 through 4. 4 is all the way in.
Yep, that's right. 1 all the way back. They look like they're about 2 for double play because of the runner.
Up the middle, they'll try to turn 2. Looks like Encarnacion as well at third. The owner of Navarro bunts first base. Overbay to plate. Tie game.
That is their favorite play, the safety squeeze. And over the last couple of years, Joe Madden has used that about 20 times. The safety squeeze, where you just try and push the ball to the first baseman. And the Blue Jays, the first day of this series, came out here working on this same thing. Watch the runner at third base. He doesn't go until he sees it down on the ground. Overbay comes in hard, but a good slide by Rodriguez to go around the catcher. Just clips the back of the plate. And the safety squeeze works again for the Rays.
Great job by the umpire and Sean Rodriguez as well. Rodriguez swipes his hand across home plate. The umpire, Paul Schreiber, continued to move so he could get a good shot at that base runner. It's tied. Reed Brignac chases the first pitch changeup. Sacrifice fielder's choice and an RBI for Navarro. Went too far. Two here in the ninth. In the dirt, blocked by Buck. Gabe Kapler at second. Navarro at first. 1 run in here to tie it. Still just 1 out.
The runner at second base, Jaso's got to take a good aggressive lead out there at second. He doesn't have the great speed like some of these other Ray batters. But if you get a good aggressive secondary lead, you can score on a hard hit ball to the outfield.
Plus, you have to anticipate, even on a double play ball, that you round third base. Maybe there's a bad throw, a takeout slide, guys laying on the ground. You anticipate scoring.
Yeah, don't assume that it's going to be a double play or whatever.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Good pitch by Markham, spoiled by Brignac. 2 hits in the inning to start the inning off. That got things going. Sean Rodriguez, a base hit to left, followed by Zobrist. He singled to left as well. 2-2. Base hit. Left field. Here comes Jaso around third. He'll score. Gonzalez got a shot at second base. Not in time. Brignac delivers the opposite field RBI single to put the Rays up 3-2.
Something about late in the game in this team, the Tampa Bay Rays. They seem to turn it on in the 8th and 9th inning. Cito gassed it out to the mound. He gave his starter a chance to win the ball game. But now he has to go to the bullpen, and Jason Frazier's going to come in.
The Rays have scored 2 to take the lead. They lead at 3-2. Markham leaves here in the 9th.
Game and hits of the week, all right after the game on Connected.
Blue Jays go to the bullpen, and Jason Frazier comes out. There's runners on second and third and just one out, and they need an at-bat where the runners don't move, and Frazier has the ability to strike out batter. 2-1 with an ERA of about 4.6 in his 23 games this year. 24 strikeouts in 21 innings, so he averages over a strikeout per inning. And versus B.J. Upton, he has handled him so far in his career, hitting just 154. So they're looking for a strikeout or a pop-up, something where that runner can't score.
And you've got to anticipate a potential bunt here as well. Pitch out.
Blue Jays were doing just that, thinking about squeeze or safety squeeze or anything that the Rays do better than anybody.
Tampa Bay practices that play all the time, and they figure that they can scratch out a run if the timing is right. Runner at third doesn't break early.
I think you have to have the right runner at third base. Diana Navarro is not Sean Rodriguez, who we saw earlier this inning scoring on a safety squeeze. He does not have a very aggressive lead down there at third base, just on the dirt part. Probably let Upton hit here now that it's 2-0.
Rays have scored 2 here in the 9th. They lead 3-2. Change up for a strike. Tampa Bay scored 4 in the top of the 9th last night to win the game. Two balls and a strike to B.J. Upton. Just off the plate inside. 3-1. Carl Crawford is on deck. 3-1. Pretty good pitch. Off the plate, ball 4. Bases are loaded. Tito Gaston will make the call to the bullpen for the left-hander, Scott Downs. Frazier comes in and walks B.J. Upton, the only batter he faced, and now Gaston will go to the bullpen for the left-hander. Bases are loaded here. Still just 1 out. 2 runs. It'll be Fan 590 Friday, presented by the Fan 590. Pre-game Fan Fest patio party at 224. Player autograph section at section 127. That starts at 5:40 p.m. through 6:10 p.m. Tickets for the game, lots of prizes to be won. For tickets, BlueJays.com, most Rogers locations, or you can call 416-341-1234. Fan 590 Fridays. Carl Crawford with the bases loaded will face Scott Downs. First pitch strike on the delay call by Paul Schreiber. Good sinking fastball at the knees.
Here are the numbers for Scott Downs versus lefties. He's done a good job this year. Infield all the way in. You're not going to get Crawford, for the most part, on a typical ground ball. So the infield has to come in to cut off that run. Tito Gaston knows that he cannot afford to give up any more runs.
Breaking ball hammered down the right field line. This is hit a ton. This is a grand slam home run. Carl Crawford, his 5th home run of the season, is a grand slam here in the 9th.
He came into this game hitting over 400 with runners in scoring position. And before that at bat, 20 of his 26 RBIs have come with runners in scoring position. So he's cashing them in from the number 2 spot in the order for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he blows this one wide open with a home run. Looked like a hanging breaking ball right in his wheelhouse. They wanted him to reach for that ball. And when you make mistakes, Crawford can hurt you.
Evan Longoria, still just 1 out. Carl Crawford, 5 RBI tonight. He has 30 for the season. Longoria pops it up center field. Vernon Wells takes it in front of the warning track. 2 down. But again, the Rays, they'll send 9 men to the plate here in the 9th inning. They have scored 6 runs.
Something about them from the 8th inning on versus the Blue Jays. They just had their number over the last couple of years. Sean Markham did everything he could. He pitched a heck of a game into the 9th inning. Cito Gaston gave him a chance to win it, but the Rays put together a rally again in the 9th inning.
This team started out in spring training with the mantra, we're going to battle and go back to the postseason. They were there in 2008, lost to the Phillies in the World Series. Kind of came back last year just expecting they were going to have a return trip. And according to a lot of the people associated with Tampa Bay, they kind of just went through the motions in the spring. This year it's a totally different story, entirely focused.
How much of that you think going to the World Series and playing that extra month of baseball had an effect on some of the young starters as they started last season?
We have seen that over the last couple of years. You can go back and look at Cole Hamels after that World Series championship and the slow start he got off to. Ibar up the middle. He'll have a base hit. Sean Markham deserved a better fate. 10 hits in 8 1/3. This pitching line is brought to you by MLB 10, the show, only on PlayStation.
Stretching him out for 112 pitches, which is a season high, but I think Cito Gaston had to do that. His starter took him all the way to the 9th inning, giving up just 1 run. With Markham right now, you can close the books on him.
The Rays have batted around here in the 9th. Sean Rodriguez started it all off with a single to left field. He scored the tying run on that safety squeeze off the bat of Dioner Navarro. That opened up the floodgates. And Brignac had a single. The walk to Upton, and Carl Crawford blew the doors off. Grand slam home run.
People are going to look at the box score tomorrow, or look at the line 7-2 as we headed. This one isn't over, and they're going to say, "Oh, the Price and Markham, that wasn't a pitcher's duel. That's the total opposite of what we saw tonight." 2 good young pitchers going at each other, battling all the way into the 9th inning.
Yeah, it was a great pitcher's duel. There was some terrific defense all night long from both ball clubs. We saw hard slides at second. David Price battled through 8 innings and went toe-to-toe with Markham. And he is going to come out on top if the Jays can't mount a big comeback. Talk about the Tampa Bay Rays coming back late in the games against the Blue Jays. Going back to last year through the first 6 games of this year, the Rays have outscored the Jays 46-8 in the 8th inning and later. There goes the base runner, a bouncing ball foul.
Win a lot of games when you put up that kind of production late.
Well, and think about it. There was a lot of talk about the Rays. Everybody said, well, they got a good lineup. They've got good defense. They've got good speed. They've got great starting pitching, but their bullpen isn't very good. Well, their bullpen has been exceptional. They've added a closer in Soriano, and everybody got pushed down into a more comfortable position. Strike 3 called. Rodriguez is retired. The Blue Jays finally get out of the 9th inning, but not before the Rays put up a 6 spot. 4 last night in the 9th, 6 tonight. Jays trail at bottom of the 9th by 5. Carlos Pena comes off the bench to play first base. Ben Zobrist moves into right field. Takes over for Gabe Kapler in the new pitcher, Rafael Soriano. Soriano picked up his 15th save here in last night's game. Vernon Wells, Jose Bautista, and Alex Gonzalez to bat here in the ninth. Jays trail by 5. Popped up behind second. Rodriguez makes the play. 1 out here in the ninth. Sean Markham and David Price went toe-to-toe. Through 8 innings, it was 2-1. Markham had the edge, but the Rays came back. Scored 6 in the top of the ninth.
Neither one of them walked a batter.
Bautista pops it up back behind home. Navarro gives it a look, but it's back into the seats. David Price made his 6th start against the Blue Jays. He's looking to improve to 4-0 against Toronto. And the Rays have won all 6 of those games.
And his earned run average against the Blue Jays will go down. It came in at 2.9. No earned runs in 8 innings tonight. Says that he was just looking for some fastball command. That has been the problem he's had his last couple of times out. And he has only one time allowed more than 3 earned runs in a start, just one time. That was against Houston when he gave up 5 2 starts ago. So that streak continues.
And fastball on the outside corner. Now, Tampa Bay came into this ball game with a 20-6 road record. By far the best record in the major leagues. They've been great on the road all year long. If they win this game, they will improve to 16-8 against the American League East. Also the best record in the division.
And they've played the Yankees a couple of times already this year. Same with the Red Sox.
Tampa Bay 4-3 against Boston. 3-2 against the Yankees. Bautista strikes out.
Well, Soriano, you have to respect the fastball that he has. He can also cut it and sink it. That time he gets Bautista to swing right through it for the strikeout.
Blue Jays down to their last out. First pitch swinging, Gonzalez rips a single into center field. Lyle Overbay will bat. He's 2 for 3 tonight.
It's when he's at his best, when he's aggressive as soon as he steps into that box. It looks like Soriano let up a little bit, thinking that he was going to take a pitch, and he jumped him.
2 outs now for Overbay. Had a double in the 2nd inning and a single to center in the 5th. First pitch strike from Soriano. Overbay's average up to 224. There goes Gonzalez. He will move into second base. He would assume defensive indifference. Two outs. 1-1 count on Lyle Overbay. Foul it into the glove of Navarro. Fiona Navarro had the big play that started that 6-run ninth inning. A safety squeeze bunt drove in the tying run, made it 2-2. He would later come around and score on Carl Crawford's grand slam. A ball and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Overbay lifts it to center field. B.J. Upton, a long run on the warning track, makes the catch. Dropped the ball, hit up against the fence and dropped the ball. Popped out of his glove. Gonzalez scores. Blue Jays still have life.
Yeah, we'll see how they score that. Upton and Crawford have been catching everything in the outfield tonight. Lyle Overbay gives it a ride to left center field, and Upton quickly checks where the wall is, reaches up, and it clangs off of his glove.
Just missed it.
Yep.
Overbay has been credited with a double. Upton made a much more difficult play off Bautista to end the 6th. Overbay has a 3-hit night. John Bucks had a good night. He's had a pair of hits and a sac fly. Went too far.
If you're the Tampa Bay Rays, you have to feel pretty good about yourself that you haven't played a very crisp game. They've made 3 errors. They've given up 11 base hits. They've made plays and pitches when they've had to. They're 1 out away from taking this series.
And that's what your goal is. We mentioned it. If you're a manager, you shoot for winning series. This is the rubber game of a 3-game series. Blue Jays won the opener 3-2. Rays won game 2, 7-6 with 4 runs in the 9th inning in last night's game, and they scored 6 in the 9th here tonight. Fought off and fouled out of play. A ball and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Blue Jays again down to their final strike. Soriano strikes out Buck to end the game. Soriano strikes out too. Big 6-run 9th inning. Final score is 7-3. Tampa Bay wins the series 2-1. Yankees will be at Rogers Center to start the series on Friday. Stay tuned for Connected.